President of Diversity and Inclusion, Dr. Ogunu
We'd like to welcome Lamar University Diversity and Inclusion Vice President Dr. Bello-Ogunu to share a few words with us. Dr. Bello-Ogunu.
Okay, much better. Good evening.
Thanks.
Come on, guys. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, good. I'd like to first of all begin by expressing my profound gratitude to all of you for finding some time in your very, very busy schedule as students to put together this very, very important event. I know as a professor how I know that as a professor how busy the schedules can be. And so for a personal note, I'm very, very grateful to especially to the leaders and all those who took part in making this event possible. I feel very at home, to be honest with you, even though I'm not from Bangladesh. I feel very, very much at home because I see so many similarities between what my home country went through and what your country went through by my conversation with Dr. Das a while ago. Of course, I am originally from Nigeria, in West Africa. And for those of you who are very familiar with the war history, Nigeria, like many, many countries in the world in the past, were colonies, the British Empire. And there were so many things, so many injustices, including forced marriages, that continue to cause the crisis we have today in Africa and the Middle East and so on and so forth. And that's what I meant by feeling at home, because I can connect with you. I am very grateful and honored to be invited to give a few remarks at this very special event. My special thanks to Dr. Das and the leadership of the Bangladesh Student Association of Lamar for this special invitation. I would also like to thank those who worked very hard behind the scenes over the past days and weeks to make this event happen. I think we are quick to join a celebration without giving thought to the immeasurable work that went on behind the scene to make the final event possible. So thank you very much. Before I give my formal remarks, I would like to take this opportunity to reassure the Bangladesh students, as well as all Lamar International students, scholars, faculty, and staff from the different parts of the globe, that Lamar University very much values and appreciates your presence on its campus. And above all, we are, as a community, very grateful to your continued and immeasurable contributions to the learning, working, and living environments on our campus and beyond the campus community. I believe that the global diversity you bring to our campus is critical to the overall success of the educational mission of Lamar University. And so I thank you very much for your immeasurable, rich contributions to the internationalization and the multiculturalization of Lamar University. Please know that Lamar University is strongly committed to your safety, to your success, and to your overall well-being during the course of your stay here in the United States of America. Now, the primary purpose of our gathering this evening is to celebrate the annual International Mother Language Day. Therefore, let us take a brief moment to examine the origin of this very important day and the role of modern language in promoting and advancing all-inclusive global diversity. According to various historical accounts, including that of the United Nations, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, otherwise known as UNESCO. The International Mother Language Day was conceived by a social movement built on the spirit to defend the right to write one's mother language. The social movement was born from a very sad and unfortunate incident in February of 1952, when students from the University of Dakar, Jagannath College, and Dakar Medical College demonstrating for the recognition of Bengali as one of the two national languages of East Pakistan were brutally shot dead by police near the Dhaka High Court in the capital of today's or present-day Bangladesh. And in November 1999, the General Conference of the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organizations, UNESCO, proclaimed the International Mother Language Day. And on May 16, 2009, the United Nations General Assembly, in its resolution A/RES/61/266, called on its member states, quote, to promote the preservation and protection of all languages used by people of the world. In the aforementioned resolution, the General Assembly proclaimed 2008 as the International Year of Language to promote unity in diversity and international understanding through multilingualism and multiculturalism. Consequently, the International Mother Language Day has been observed annually on February 21st throughout the world since 2000. And that brings me to the next point. Why is International Mother Language Day significant? Why is it important? I know that we gather every year to celebrate this. We talk about it. And then, of course, after speeches, we gather to have fun. But beyond that, why is it important? Can anyone attempt to educate me on why this very important day is indeed very important?
It's a what?
Why is it important? Why is International Mother Language Day important?
Yeah, actually, I must say that to gain this language, it's a lot of dedications. We have to lost a lot of lives. I think all over the world, if we consider, there is no language that the people dedicated so much lives to achieve their language. Only the Bangladeshi people, we the Bangladeshi people, and our language is Bangla, we achieved this one by sacrificing millions of lives. And that's why I think that the whole world, the universe, they consider it as an international language day. And I think that's the way, because I don't think so nobody sacrificed that much life for the language. And I think this is the most important thing. That's I think that.
You are very correct, and I thank you. And more importantly, for those of you who are familiar with or may have taken classes in cultural anthropology or sociology or linguistics, or that are yet in cultural communications, you will agree with me that the survival of any culture or any culture anywhere in the world very much depends on the continued survival of its language. Once you destroy a language of any group, that marks the beginning of the death of that culture. Because without language, the culture cannot and will not be able to teach its citizens that which is essential to ensure the continued survival, growth, and success of that culture. And the United Nations recognizes this And in many of their deliberations since 1999 up to the time of proclamation of this day, they argue, and I quote, "Languages, with their complex implications of identity, communication, social integration, education, and development, are of strategic importance for people and the planet as a whole. Yet, due to globalization processes, they are increasingly under threat or disappearing altogether. When languages fade, when they no longer exist, or when they are subjected to destruction, then so does the world's rich tapestry of cultural diversity, opportunities, traditions, memory, unique modes of thinking and expression, ways of life, value resources for ensuring the betterment of the people of any given culture, all begin to become irrelevant and lost, according to the United Nations. More than 50% of the approximately 7,000 languages spoken in the world are likely to die within a few generations. Just think about that. I repeat, more than 50% of the approximately 7,000 languages spoken around the world are likely to die within a few generations. Translation: more and more cultures or co-cultures will ultimately die if nothing is done to protect their mother language. And 96% of these languages are spoken by a mere 4%, just 4% of the world's population. Only a few hundred languages have genuinely been given pride of place in educational systems and the public domain, and less than 100 are used in digital world. During the days or the years of colonization by the British Empire, the first attack that they undertook in order to incapacitate and ultimately destroy their colonies was the destruction of their language. And that is why, quite frankly, in India, in Nigeria, and in many African countries of the former British colonies now speak English as their lingua franca. And unfortunately, during that entire period, some ended up losing their language and identity. That's how bad it is. The United Nations also added that cultural diversity and intercultural dialogue, the promotion of education for all, and the development of knowledge societies are central to UNESCO's work. But they are not possible without broad international commitment to promoting multiculturalism and linguistic diversity. I must add that scholars of intercultural communication, cross-cultural communication, linguistics, and sociology will no doubt agree with UNESCO in their claims. And by the way, if I might add, contrary to the false perception by some in our society, in this country, that the United Nations is just a club for people to talk and have good time, this very important world body of nations is so critical to preventing international bullying, ensuring social justice and global peace, especially in today's challenging, complex, and troubled world. In closing, if we as a society, if we truly believe in the equality of humankind, if we truly believe in cultural diversity, inclusion, social justice, human dignity, and equality, then